Hi, I'm Shemaya Campbell, and if you allow me, I will provide you with an opportunity to double Arterix's annual income by the year 2026. Outside of a professional setting, I often enjoy the urban fashion aesthetic. However, a notable issue that I have found within brands outside of Arterix has been discomfort and inconvenience in the material. I immediately saw this as an opportunity to transform Arterix's traditional outdoor apparel to a globally recognized fashion power within the niche Gapcore community. For those on the board that are unfamiliar with Gapcore, this is an aesthetic that is characterized by prioritizing functionality in clothing while maintaining a minimalistic design. This is the embodiment of Arterix's design technology. I encourage the company to utilize its minimalistic design and optimize its current standing in the apparel technology industry to position itself competitively in the Gapcore fashion market. This is a fruitful opportunity for Arterix to increase inventory, consumer demand, and overall revenue. Let's look at the numbers. Revenue in the fashion industry is expected to have an annual growth rate from 2023 to 2027 of approximately 9.14%, which results in a projected market volume increase of 1.5 trillion US dollars by the year 2027. Entering the market now positions us at the forefront of the apparel industry. The competitive advantages. First, I will analyze Arterix's competitive advantages entering the US market. Our brand awareness is a significant factor when looking into expansion. Having already set recognition in the apparel industry establishes consumer loyalty and demand within the foreign market. In addition to brand awareness, trade relations with the United States is advantageous as it eliminates tariffs and significantly reduces the probability of non-tariff barriers. Additionally, there is no question as to Arterix's innovative technology. This alone creates an unprecedented competitive advantage for the brand. Arterix is home to the technology of the articulated fit, referred to as the E3D patterning, micro-seam technology that has changed not only the way jackets are made, but also how they perform, and the innovation of the watertight zipper design change the consumer perspective as to the capabilities of the brand, as the zipper design had been largely unchanged for the majority of the 21st century prior to Arterix's innovation. Lastly, a notable competitive advantage for Arterix is the environmentally conscious methods of manufacturing and sourcing. Consumers are in search of more sustainable methods of production as they consciously base their purchases on products that align with their beliefs. Committing to science-based carbon targets, circular economic processes, and improving working conditions in the countries in which we expand and operate creates incentive and demand for our environmentally conscious consumers. Our design-led technology is also advantageous in problem solving. By optimizing our existing brand awareness, trade relations, innovation, and sustainable practices, we single-handedly possess the advantage to mitigate competition and dominate the industry. Aside from why now, I anticipate that you are questioning why the United States. To answer simply, by expanding into the largest economy in the world and second largest by purchasing power, the United States is easily the most influential market for Arterix's future growth projections. I firmly believe that expanding operations and increasing inventory options create an opportunity to enter and dominate the winter fashion market. This expansion has numerous advantages as the United States is well equipped with the resources to be beneficial to the company's growth. The US population exceeds 300 million citizens. This fact alone is beneficial to the company as a large population size significantly enhances the company's ability to increase revenue and drive demand. In addition to the population, the United States' free market system establishes a predictable and transparent economy, outstanding infrastructure, and access to the world's most lucrative consumer market. The free market economy composed of private and public sectors allow for competition and minimal, if any, government interference. Economically speaking, the most significant factor is that the United States alone has accounted for 15.5% of the global economy's GDP during the 2022 fiscal year. The population, influence, marketing system, and fiscal GDP are all factors that have influenced the decision for the inventory expansion. However, speaking more specifically, New York is truly the most ideal state for this development. In terms of the fashion industry, New York continues to be a focal point as it exceeds European fashion centers like Paris and Milan, as well as Asian fashion centers like Shanghai and Japan. Accessing this market has advantages for the growth of the company. The fashion culture within New York is heavily embedded in mass consumerism and luxury apparel. Utilizing New York City's influence and location, we can exceed revenue expectations and uphold an unrivaled position in the market. After analyzing the competitive advantage of Arc'teryx and what makes the United States the best option for expansion, it is important to explore the risks examined by the potential challenges. I will examine the obstacles I have accounted for prior to the expansion and how Arc'teryx is more than equipped to overcome said challenges. The complication of corporate social responsibility affects the apparel industry, as do any other. As consumers are becoming more conscious of environmental effects and labor abuse, they are paying attention to the brand they purchase. This is a common obstacle. However, the sustainable practices of Arc'teryx mitigates this issue. Our product philosophy is the foundation of our approach to sustainability. We at Arc'teryx believe that building products to last stand as the most powerful lever for minimizing our impact. Additionally, a barrier to the United States at the moment is that some consumers are trying to buy American and may prefer local substitutes. However, in the most arrogant way, there is no substitute in the market compared to the technology and experience provided by Arc'teryx, especially speaking in regard to the Gap core market. You might think, what about Patagonia, North Face, or Columbia Sportswear? Of the three, only North Face has a sufficient standing in the fashion industry to be considered a competitor. And again, the technological difference is incomparable. Lastly, a potential obstacle we can face would be meeting consumer preferences with innovation after exceeding revenue expectations. The fashion industry is highly saturated and hyper-competitive. It is true that as time goes on, the global interest will change. Fashion and apparel companies require innovative product offerings and buying experiences to meet the initial consumer demand. Nevertheless, the advantage that Arc'teryx has is that we will provide products to a niche consumer group that prioritizes minimalistic design and consistency as opposed to fast consumption. At Arc'teryx, we pride ourselves in innovation and product design, and we will continue to stay on the cutting edge of innovation and develop new sustainable products to remain competitive and expand our inventory and consumer reach. Why now? COVID-19 pandemic has negatively impacted the urban fashion market, much like every other industry. However, this provides an amazing opportunity for Arc'teryx to enter and dominate the market. The pandemic created a devastatingly sharp contraction of economic activity, resulting in companies and potential competitors having suspended operations. As the economy is currently recovering, Arc'teryx has the opportunity to mitigate rivalry upon entry and maximize profits. The significant effect of the pandemic has been the accelerated shift to the overconsumption of digital media. This again has been advantageous to the company. During last year, the brand has blown up on TikTok and have started hashtags like #Arc'teryx, which has essentially done the branding for the company. We must act on the company's recognition and expand our inventory to align with the market demands. Fashion is constantly evolving as seasons change and consumer taste transforms. Arc'teryx must utilize its recent popularity amongst the millennial and Generation Z consumers through the TikTok platform. This target market is increasingly shifting towards more comfortable, fashion-forward apparel since about 2019. Gorpcore's continuous growth over the past few years provides stability in the market as the target audience provides itself on expressivity and individuality. As the middle class continues to grow, they're acquiring more buying power. Additionally, millennial and Gen Z target markets are becoming increasingly influential. I firmly note that this is the absolute best time to enter the market, as we have already established traction from both demographics. It is of the utmost importance that we move now as the market is recovering from the pandemic. Expanding Arc'teryx's inventory selection in the United States, more specifically New York, allows the company to improve its standing in the urban apparel industry. Arc'teryx is able to optimize its technology and offer cutting-edge, minimalist winter apparel to a market that continuously demands new fashion, innovation, and warmth. This inventory expansion gives the company the opportunity to locate and dominate the Gorpcore market strategically. Working efficiently with little to no barriers, as we have already expanded operations in the US, Arc'teryx has the unique ability to transform not only the functionality in the herbal apparel market, but as well the look. Utilizing this business plan, we can double Arc'teryx's annual revenue, increase consumer demand, and continue to make strides in transforming the apparel market and separating our technology from the competitors. If you share my vision of expansion to dominate the industry, I implore you to invest in this expansion.